Today we're going to make a well-known New England cookie called a Snickerdoodle, which has a unique flavor all its own. Each cookie is rolled in cinnamon sugar before baking, but this sweetness is balanced by a distinctive mild tang. And its texture is interesting, with a very chewy center and a flat, crinkly top. And today, Elle is going to take us to Snickerdoodle school.
Hey, Julia.
Hey, Elle.
Did you know that Snickerdoodles was the first thing I ever made back in Detroit?
It was?
In my home economics class.
How old were you?
Probably 12.
Aww.
I know. I knew then I was going to make Snickerdoodles for the rest of my life.
That's a good cookie.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have here 2½ cups of flour, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and ½ teaspoon of salt. So we tested this recipe with baking powder versus baking soda, and we found that baking powder makes the cookie rise too quickly in the oven. The combination of baking soda and cream of tartar actually was perfect. It goes in the oven, it rises and falls quickly, gives us that distinct crinkly Snickerdoodle top we're looking for. And that's our dry ingredients. We're ready to start the wet. We have here 8 tablespoons of vegetable shortening, and we also have 8 tablespoons of butter. Unlike butter, vegetable shortening doesn't have any water, so it allows our cookies to have a nice shape, they don't spread too much, and they get that nice crispy edge around it. In this case, we're going to use butter and vegetable shortening.
Because that butter has more flavor than vegetable shortening, which pretty much has no flavor at all.
So this process we're doing here is called creaming. We're creaming the butter and then 1½ cups of sugar. And we're gonna do that for 3 minutes at medium speed.
And this is a classic way to start any cookie, by creaming the butter and sugar together before adding the liquid ingredients and the flour.
And the way that you know you're ready to move on to the next step is when your batter's looking light and fluffy. The color's a little lighter. It almost looks like icing. So we're gonna go with our next step, which is adding 2 eggs. 1 egg at a time.
Because you're incorporating liquid into a thick batter, and by doing it slowly, you'll avoid lumps.
So I'm not gonna add the second of our 2 eggs. That second egg is incorporating very well.
Looks good.
So I'm not gonna add our flour, mixing our dry into our wet. And we're just gonna do so in small doses.
Because if you add it all at once, boom,
That's right.
you're gonna be in a flour cloud.
That's looking great. This is getting me so excited for Snickerdoodles. I'm reliving it all over again. I think we're all set to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna give this one last stir to make sure we have everything at the bottom of the mixer incorporated. I can't tell you how many times I found half of my ingredients in the bottom of the bowl. So I'm gonna roll these Snickerdoodles out. While I do that, will you mix my cinnamon and sugar?
Ooh, the best part.
The best part. You're the most important part of this machine today. This is a 1/4 cup of sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon.
That's gonna taste good on the outside of those cookies.
Oh yeah, that intense amount of cinnamon is gonna give you a nice crust on the top.
Now, if I got you right, you're just portioning the dough out at this point. We're not baking them on this tray.
No, not at all. We're just making sure that each cookie is 2 tablespoons and that they're ready for rolling. All right. Are you ready to rock?
I'm ready to roll.
Let's roll it then.
In cinnamon sugar.
Of course. This cinnamon sugar is gonna give our cookie that nice, crispy, tasty exterior. That's a Snickerdoodle.
That is a Snickerdoodle. All right, now, how do I put them on the baking sheet?
Just make sure you put them at least 2 inches apart on the cookie sheet.
All right.
We're gonna do 3 across, 2 in the middle, and 3 across.
That's a plan.
And you can keep on rolling. I'm gonna go to the oven. These are gonna go in the oven in the middle rack at 375 degrees for 10 minutes, rotating at about 5 minutes.
Ooh, you said it. There's that cinnamon waft.
Oh yeah.
Those are gorgeous.
Aren't they pretty?
Now, how do you know they're done?
Well, the edges have started to set and they're still puffy in the top. All right, we're gonna let those rest for 10 minutes to finish doing their thing. So let's move on and put our next tray in the oven. All right, Julia, we got a lot going on here. We have a cooled batch of cookies.
Hello.
We have a cooling batch of cookies, and we have a cooking batch of cookies. I'm gonna, in the meantime, transfer our cooling batch.
Oh, those look good.
They look so good.
So you're transferring them from the warm baking sheet to the wire rack so they can finish cooling completely?
Yes, and with the baking sheet on the rack, they're gonna cool evenly from the bottom to the top. All right, I believe our third batch is a charm.
Well, this is pretty interesting because you kind of see the progression of the cookies as they fall and cool. So this is a cooled cookie, and this is one right out of the oven. And you can see it has that domed top, and obviously that's going to fall as the cookie cools. All right, so you're not going to make me wait until all these cookies are cooled before we dig in, are you?
Yeah, we have to wait for every single one. I'm
It's
kidding.
not gonna happen.
I'm kidding.
Oh, good.
We can eat cookies now. Which one do you want?
I'm going for this guy.
I like mine a little more brown. I'm gonna go with this guy.
Oh, look at that. You can see that bend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's that chewy center.
Winning.
Awesome job.
Thank you, madam.
You snickerdoodled it. I love these cookies.
Thank you.
To make this traditional New England cookie, use a combination of butter and shortening for chewy centers with super crisp edges. For that hallmark, crinkly looking top and distinctive tangy flavor, use extra baking soda along with some cream of tartar. Finally, roll the cookies thoroughly in cinnamon sugar before baking them, one tray at a time. From America's Test Kitchen to your kitchen, a traditional recipe for New England-style Snickerdoodles. Thanks for watching America's Test Kitchen. What'd you think?
Well, leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or you can just say hello.
You can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
I'll see you later.